Welcome to the bold analysis. If you have been a constant viewer, frequent viewer of my channel, I once made a statement that it was time for President-elect to cut down his circle of friends and prune out some leaders, especially the campaign mouthpiece. And today, that has been vindicated in HomaBay. I just got a message from one of our viewers here. I think I want to read it for you here. Kevin, I hope you had a blessed Sunday. I attended Prezzo's rally in HomaBay. You guys should tell him not to come back with him. Hata yeye alisoma mood ya watu hostile hawataki against Nyoro. Yes. What this person is saying, that President should not go back to HomaBay with Nyoro now that he announced he was going back. I want to tell you something. The intention of William Ruto working with Ndindi Nyoro and even going with Ndindi Nyoro to HomaBay was not just a coincidence. It's something that was very strategic. For better part of this week, when after William Ruto named his cabinet on Tuesday, and Ndindi Nyoro missed the cut, there was a heated conversation online that perhaps the president had isolated him. But in my analysis, I insisted that one of the reasons why Ndindi Nyoro was left out of cabinet and was just pushed and given, I'm told is going to be given a powerful committee in the National Assembly, was for him to play politics. That William Ruto is also, in fact, I can tell you that from immediately after he was sworn in, he started campaigning, just from naming the cabinet, he started campaigning for 2027. And by the way, anyone who is planning to face off with William Ruto in 2027 is already playing a catch-up if he has not started campaigning. If Kalonzo is thinking of making a start in 2027, I think he's late because the president is already campaigning. Now, and that's one of the reasons why Nyoro was left out, so that William Ruto will get a campaign machinery. All today, after attending the African Indian Church event, they went all through to HomaBay town, where they held a rally. Everything went on well. I have seen the photos that have been shared by different people, and I see the mood. The Nyanza people are peaceful, they are happy, and of course, they have accepted. Even today, Babu Hawino was saying, this was never related. By the way, to many people, kuna watu hawajamini kwamba William Ruto is the president. There is quite a number of people that still, and when you talk to people, they still tell you, but I've never believed. I was in, was it Nyamakima? Yes, and someone was telling me, Kevin, I've never believed. But then people are moving on, and people are still healing. But deep down, people are hurt. So all the leaders who spoke, and everyone was welcomed. But there was this video I wanted to look at. And that is what that person was alluding to, that Ndindi Nyoro was shouted down. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and also like our video. I want to continue thanking you. I want to say thank you for those who've been even sharing our videos to your friends, your social media pages. We are growing this channel. And of course, as I said, even after elections, this is one of the channels that will be asking the most important questions. And of course, we'll also be giving you what you need to know in the Kenyan political space. Now, I wanted to listen to that video. I wanted to watch that video.
Mimi nilikuja hapa HomaBay. Tukafanya mkutano na nyinyi. Tukakubaliana na nyinyi mambo ya uvuvi. Tukakubaliana na nyinyi mambo ya housing. Tukakubaliana na nyinyi mambo ya maji. Tukakubaliana na nyinyi mambo ya cotton, tukakubaliana na nyinyi mambo ya uchumi. Mimi nataka niwahakikishie hiyo mpango nitaomba Mungu anisaidie nitekeleze.
And we walk a long way with you until you finish all the promises you made to Kenyans. Thank you. Tuko na bahati kama nchi ya Kenya. Tuko na rais ambaye anaunganisha Kenya yote. And I know for sure with our President William Ruto, the oceans in the coast and the mountain from where I come from, when they will unite with the lake and you unite with the vast land in the northern, we will have a level Kenya, a Kenya that has got space for everyone, an egalitarian Kenya that has got opportunity for every Kenyan. Mimi najua ya kwamba rais wetu vile atatumikia sisi wote pamoja kama wananchi wa Kenya. Kenya lazima isonge mbele kwa kiuchumi.
From what I have gathered is when he was speaking, William Ruto gave him the microphone to speak after the others. And when he was speaking, people did not even want to listen to what he was saying. Of course, in the presence of Deputy President, there is the police presence, and of course, there is nothing that happened. But they literally did not want to hear the sound of Ndindi Nyoro. And they had just to return the microphone. There is nothing he said. There is nothing he said in that video that you can hear. And of course, what will you expect him to talk about? Now, after looking at this, there is something, I have a strong conviction, and where I'm persuaded that Oscar Sudi, Ndindi Nyoro, Rigathi Gachagua, Moses Kuria, that team, that Mount Kenya team, William Ruto should not carry himself with that team to the rest of the country. That team, and especially the campaign mouthpiece, because we are talking about uniting the country, and William Ruto means well, healing the country, bringing the country together. And I remember in this, just in that video, someone told me that how would he say that is respecting the other leaders, that is going to respect President Uhuru Kenyatta and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, and is going to work with all, na anakuja na mtu ambaye amekuwa kitusi Raila. And by the way, I think Ndindi Nyoro's line at campaign was dynasty, was his, that is it. And his other role was to say that the deep state was hell-bent to hand over power to Raila Odinga. Yeah. One of the reasons why I am persuaded that William Ruto must shed off that team is they still have campaign hangovers and are in celebration mode. The CEO of this country is William Samoei Ruto. That is the most senior, most CEO. And because he's the CEO, he's the person that might have that unity ambition. That unity ambition is only in the office of the presidency. To someone like Ndindi Nyoro, he will still want to continue, he'll still want to find a way you can punch Raila, because when you punch Raila, that's how sad our politics has been. That when you say all sort of things are about Raila Odinga, then you become a hero in your place. When you say all sort of things about how William Ruto and how about Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta wanted to stop William Ruto to ascend to presidency, then that's how you become a hero. So these people are still in those campaign moods. They are mocking, their statements are mocking the other people. And of course, while they may not be, they don't have the interest of that unity interest. If anything, they will still want to injure and show their prowess and the way they propelled William Ruto. Now, when they are around William Ruto, they will still want to show their muscle, So this kind of a team is not one that will be effective to stay around him. Even if you don't want to, even if you're an inventor or somewhere and don't want to go political, you will realize that with you having them, it creates a political environment. And as a president, if you may be going to the Kenyan people and talking about a policy that maybe an agenda, but when you carry yourself in that campaign mouthpiece, you're seen as someone who is just doing that campaign. And that is very bad because, this team, there was anti-Raila venom. The anti-Raila venom that was planted in the minds of voters was done by the mouthpiece. So, and this is not about Nyanza. If you want to heal this country, today William Ruto was in HomaBay. Tomorrow you might be in Mombasa, in Kwale, and those areas. Some of those areas do not have sycophantic. Maybe Raila Odinga do not have sycophantic followers. But you see, there is the space of media where they go somewhere even in those areas. In fact, Raila has been in this election for 5 times. So this is a man who you will realize that hata mtu amekupigia for the first time, previously alikuwa amempigia. And you will also have those supporters. People want to move on. You are telling people competition is over, the election is over, fine. We focus on nation building, but that focus on nation building, it's lacking its optics. The optics that you're bringing is already a reminder. For example, when someone is in HomaBay and is seeing Ndindi Nyoro, what does that person say? That person, something tickles in mind is Raila insults. Those are the things that come. So for Kenyans really to forget about it, and this is something that has to do. That's another reason. Then, I've seen something in when politicians, especially in Kenya, Kwanza, grab microphones, they will tell you about let's move on, the competition is over. But go to their social media pages. Just go to Twitter. Those of us who are in Twitter, just check. Look at what someone is saying on Twitter at night. Twitter, most of them are busy at night. What they're tweeting at night and what they're saying microphones in those churches, standing in the pulpits, it's totally different. They're miles apart. So because of the social media messaging that is a bit untamed, and we're in a global village where someone must not wait to watch news. In fact, most people don't depend on the mainstream news. They look at what we say in the social media because their social media spaces are untamed, and they are actually progressively, what they are saying about we've moved on is it. They're still sending shades and criticism to Raila Odinga supporters. So this is something that is still there. And lastly, I think William Ruto's mouthpiece, and immediately from such a campaign, and this is both William Ruto and Raila Odinga's campaign mouthpiece. The campaign mouthpiece, in an element, they create some baggage of hate and division. That's it. They have a baggage of hate and division. So if you want to unite the country, these are not the team that you should surround yourself with. It's time to prune them off. I remember when William Ruto went to Naivasha and was accompanied by Oscar Sudi, people really complained, asking what was the role of Oscar Sudi, or what are the powers that Oscar Sudi is having in government. This was all there. So it's something, and with especially the mouthpiece from Mount Kenya, their campaign was more of Mount Kenya activism. They are more of pro Mount Kenya, that Uhuru hajafanya he wanted to do this for us. So the rest of the country would perceive them as people who are more divisive and were isolating themselves and were pushing their own interest. I know that not a single day. Remember Rigathi Gachagua saying, and the Mount Kenya team saying, that President Uhuru Kenyatta, a road that was supposed to be built in Nyeri, that money was transferred and was changed and went to Kisumu. Remember that kind of statement. Then you go there with that team. So these people had already planted very negative venom by propagating that Mount Kenya activism. And that is why I also feel that Ruto must shake them off. I don't know what to think. And who do you think should also be led on that list? That is why when Raila Odinga, after the election, Junet Mohammed has not been so active. That's one of the reasons. You need to tone down. Ladies and gentlemen, that was my analysis on this.